After building the rough cut timeline and writing your script, you'll need to voice your script into Adobe Audition. Most people will use a studio or a voicing booth. This workflow is based on the assumption that your Adobe Audition computer is linked through a network back to your journalist workstation. If this is not the case at your location, you'll simply follow these instructions, but instead of saving directly to your project's media folder, you'll first save it off to a shared drive and then copy those files into your media folder. Now that you've finished voicing your narration in Adobe Audition, you need to export it to Premiere so that you can use it in your project. First thing you need to do is select the parts that you want to keep. Now you'll notice that you probably have recorded in stereo. It's typical for most of us to do that, but we don't need both tracks. So it's best to deselect one of the tracks. This will really help you maintain your split audio in your Adobe project. So now that I have the part of the narration I want to keep, and I only have one track that I'm going to keep, the next thing I need to do is export my audio. And what I'm going to do is select Export File, or Control-Shift-E. The dialog window comes up for exporting the file, and the first thing we need to do is put the name in. We're going to use the same naming convention we've been using all along, with the date, the initials, and the slug. The only difference is I'm going to go ahead and add a modifier at the end, -narration. And this will help me identify the different things in my media folder. Speaking of media folders, now since we're connected through a network to our original journalist workstation, we're going to go ahead and browse back to our media drive, or M drive. Again, this should be the M drive or the media drive on your actual workstation. So if you're working in a voice booth or a radio studio, you need to ensure that you've previously mapped back to your computer. Then we can navigate to our projects, to the MacArthur Awards, and into our media folder. And this is where we're going to go ahead and save our MP3. We want to verify that it is an MP3 and it's 48,000 hertz or 48 kilohertz. At this point we're good to go. We've verified all of the settings, and now we just click OK. Now that we've saved our narration into our project folder, we need to bring it into Premiere. Now previously I showed you how to import media into Premiere using the media browser. Another way is from the project window down here. I can simply right click and say import. And now I need to navigate to my media drive, in this case the M, projects folder, the project, and we're going to go directly to our media folder. Now this is where we told Audition to save the file. And if you see right here, this is our narration just as we've named it, and all we need to do at this point is open it, and it will import it right into our project file. And we can look here, hitting the tilde key again to make it full, and here we see the narration that we just brought in. Let me go back to the main interface here, because what I'd like to do is I'd like to bring that into my timeline. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click to put it in the source window here, and I'm going to bring this in a different way, because what I want to do is I want to bring a single track of audio into a single track, which we've since previously called narration. To do that, I use this drag only audio button right here. I'm going to click and hold it, and then I can drag it directly to my narration right in the timeline. And there you have it. We've just imported our voice narration from Adobe Audition into Premiere and right into our timeline. And again, note it's a single track that we've put in on a single mono track here, so that now we can maintain our separation between our tracks.